I was a teenager in the early 90s, and back then, being into PC gaming made you a rare breed, especially in my little town where consoles still reigned supreme. Internet? Forget it. Steam? Didn't exist. Getting new games wasn't just hard, it was expensive. My best friend and I saved every dime to buy physical copies from overseas via airmail. And when a new game came in, it was a big deal. We traded, shared, even carefully copied the protection codes just to make it all barely affordable. Games like Doom 2, Monkey Island, The Settlers, these weren't just discs to us. They were lifelines, worlds we escaped to, stories we obsessed over. We took care of those floppy disks like they were treasure. Then came the new kid. He transferred into our class mid-year. Let's call him Eric. He had this slick attitude and claimed his uncle had a massive collection of PC games. Naturally, my friend and I were intrigued. We were cautious but hopeful. Maybe this kid would be part of our little circle. Maybe we'd finally have access to a wider library. We offered to trade, lent him our original game discs to copy. He agreed, but what we got back? Corrupted floppies, missing protection codes. Half the time the discs didn't even load. And when they did, you'd get halfway through a game before it glitched out or crashed. Weeks went by and not a single working game came our way. Meanwhile, Eric? He got all our originals. And when he did bother returning anything, the floppies were scratched, cracked, or worse, sticky like someone spilled soda on them and didn't care. At first, we thought maybe it was just bad luck. But the pattern kept repeating. And eventually, it clicked. Eric wasn't trading. He was conning. He'd figured out we were desperate and trusting, and used that to build his own collection. He'd taken our treasures and gave us garbage in return. I felt humiliated, used, powerless, and the worst part? He'd grin when handing things back, as if daring us to call him out. But it didn't stop there. Eric didn't just steal our games, he started mocking me personally. He found out I was a die-hard Queen fan, and ever since Freddie Mercury's passing, I'd worn that band's t-shirt like armor. Eric, he tore it down, called me a freak for liking a gay singer, said it loud, in front of classmates, repeatedly. He knew what buttons to press. My blood would boil, my fists would clench. But I said nothing. Back then, being called gay at school could be brutal. He knew it and used it like a weapon. It wasn't just teasing, it was targeted humiliation. So I sat in silence, burning, planning, and then an opportunity presented itself. That semester, our school took us to this AIDS awareness event hosted by a national foundation. It was the early 90s and AIDS education was everywhere, especially after Freddie's death. I paid attention out of respect. Eric, he laughed the whole time. At the end of the event, they handed out pamphlets about safe sex, homosexuality, and awareness, along with free condoms printed with the foundation's logo. That's when the idea hit us. We didn't just want to get even. We wanted Eric to feel the same humiliation, the same shame, the same powerlessness. And we knew exactly how to do it. Me and my friend were among the only kids in school with an inkjet printer at home, which back then was like having a personal printing press. We designed a fake letter. Looked just like it came from the AIDS Foundation, same logo, font, header. We made sure it looked official. Here's what it said. Dear Eric, thank you for your letter. We understand how difficult it can be to be open about your sexuality, especially at your age. We applaud your courage in writing to us after the recent awareness event. Enclosed, you'll find materials that answer many of the questions you had, along with condoms to encourage you to practice safe sex at all times. Stay strong. Stay proud. We folded the letter, included every flyer we'd grabbed from the event, slid in all the condoms we had, and addressed it to Mr. Eric's last name, not Eric, his father. We mailed it without a return address, dropped it into the local postbox, and waited. 2 days later, Eric didn't show up to school. 3 days passed, then a week. When he finally came back, his face was pale, eyes hollow. He wouldn't speak to anyone. The swagger? Gone. We started poking subtle questions. Hey, you okay? Something happen at home? Eventually, one of his closer classmates spilled the beans. His dad had opened the letter. His devout Catholic mother had found the condoms and pamphlets and lost it, screaming, crying, convinced their son was secretly gay. Eric had been grounded, dragged to the priest, barred from touching the computer. It was chaos, and we just sat back and watched the storm unfold. Eric suspected us, but he thought we'd contacted the foundation, not faked the whole thing. That layer of confusion gave us cover. For a while. Eventually, we slipped up. We joked about it one too many times, and Eric put the pieces together. The next week, we were called into the principal's office. His parents were there, furious. His dad kept glaring. His mom cried the whole time. We didn't deny it. We explained the full story, the game theft, the bullying, the mockery. And to our surprise, even the principal seemed conflicted. We got a suspension. Deserved. But Eric? He never recovered his reputation. And after that year, he transferred schools. I won't lie. Felt good. Felt really good. Not just because we got him back, but because, for once, the tables turned. The quiet nerds, the ones who got mocked and taken advantage of, we fought back. With intelligence. With precision. And yeah, maybe it was petty. Maybe it went too far. But when I look back, 30 years later, I still smile. Because sometimes, karma needs a little nudge. Revenge doesn't always have to be violent or loud. Sometimes, the most powerful payback is the one that turns a bully's world upside down using nothing but paper, ink, and a little poetic irony. If this story gave you chills, or just made you cheer a little, smash that like button and drop a comment below. What's the pettiest or most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And for more epic justice stories, don't forget to subscribe. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.